So you're all here tonight, I think, to hear about early college. I suspect that some of you are attracted to early college because it's a great way to get a start on the first 2 years of college before you even graduate from high school. And that's the reason that we've designed the program. We also know that some of you are interested in departing from your high school right now and coming to a college campus, and we welcome you for that. And then we also know that many of you who are in the room, especially those of you who are parents and have to pay for college, are here because early college is a great financial deal to bring people to college. Whatever the reason you're here tonight, we'd love having you here at Montgomery College, and we hope that many of you apply for the program and that many of you are here with us next fall here at Early College. The early college folks that you'll hear about tonight, the programs you'll hear about are from our Health Sciences Dean, Dr. Monique Davis, and our Biology Chair, Valerie Lance, will talk about the Life Sciences program. But just a little bit about Montgomery College and this campus first. This is the original campus of Montgomery College. We started offering classes on this site in 1950. Don't worry, we've spent over $200 million in the last 15 years putting up new buildings and facilities, so they're all first rate. We also, this is the Life Sciences and the Health Sciences campus. We have a wonderful building right next door that's about 12 years old, our Health Sciences Center, where that's the signature program at all of Montgomery College, where you can learn to be a nurse, you can learn to be a diagnostic medical sonographer, you can learn to be a physical therapy assistant, etc. So there's all kinds of opportunities at Montgomery College, and we love it when you graduate from Montgomery College and you graduate from MCPS at the same time, 2 years from this coming May, and you earn both an associate's degree and a high school diploma. So that's wonderful. This partnership is in about its third year. And we're doing well on all three campuses. And you have one job tonight, just one job. You need to ask questions and get them answered. So if you ask somebody a question and you don't get the answer, try somebody else on the staff here. See if we can get an answer. Make sure you go to our webpage and get answers. Make sure you get a brochure before you leave tonight, because there's lots of answers in that as well. So I'm looking forward to many of you applying, come to Montgomery College, and I hope to see many of you next fall. And now I got the honor of introducing the main partner at MCPS in all of this, Dr. Genevieve Floyd, who is the Public Schools Supervisor for Career and Post-Secondary Partnerships, and without whom none of this would have been possible. Dr. Floyd, it's all yours. And I'll give you some shades.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I first actually want to bring you greetings on behalf of our superintendent, Dr. Jack Smith. It was he and the president of Montgomery College that had the vision to bring this program to our county. They saw the need, they saw the value, and made it happen. So I'm just excited about this opportunity, and definitely excited to see so many of you here to hear about this opportunity firsthand. We have a large and diverse student population, and it's important to bring various options to our students. And that includes options that will allow students who are age 16, age 17 to go to college full-time and to be successful. Dr. Stewart mentioned the opportunity for many of our students to actually receive their degree before they receive their diploma, and I can share with you that that has already happened. In fact, if you are admitted to this program, you will indeed graduate from college before you graduate from high school, and that in itself is exciting. Last year was the first year we started our early college program, and we started with 49 students. This year, our second year, we started with 151 students. So it is our hope that between you and those who are applying for the programs at the other campuses, we will double the numbers next year, because we want to make sure that you have all the opportunities and all the resources that you need to go on and be successful in whatever you do, and that includes going to college while you're simultaneously earning your high school diploma. So we're excited. You're going to hear about the options available tonight, the degree options here in the health and the life sciences. But also, parents, want you to listen very carefully to all of the information. And as Dr. Stewart shared, be prepared to ask questions. It's important that you make an informed decision. And not only know about the program, but know about your child, know about your son, your daughter. This is indeed a rigorous program. And it's unlike high school. Parents can't call the professor. The professors won't call home. So you need to know your child to make sure he or she has not only the academic skills, but the maturity to do well and to be successful in college. It's required that they are great communicators, not only with the professors, but with you, so that we can support them in being successful in this program. So, as was shared, we're going to be here to make sure that all of your questions are answered. We will be here until the last question is asked. And even if you think of some questions when you get home, there's going to be a contact list available on the PowerPoint, and you can call us even after the fact. Mr. Sullivan, who's in my office, he's going to talk to you towards the end about the application, the deadlines, the due dates. Ms. Crowley, she's going to talk to you about early college, the components, the requirements, the cost, and for those who are interested in transferring to institutions within the state, she's going to talk to you about that as well. So, and again, just listen carefully. I want to leave the stage just on a positive note, just applauding you for your interest and coming out. We sent out, I want to say 9,000 letters, and we have a auditorium full here. We've had this session in Germantown, we've had the session in Rockville, and it has been full at each term. So we know that this is a great opportunity, but you didn't have to respond, but you did. So again, I applaud you for your presence, and I thank you for your attention, and I thank you for your time. So without further ado, I'm going to ask Ms. Crawley to come up. She's the director of the early college program here at Montgomery College, and she's going to share more information with you, and we're going to proceed with the agenda. So Ms. Crawley, thank you.
And I want to applaud you all as well for being here rather than being at home watching the Nats game. So just had to say that. So before you get your phones out and attempt to take pictures of everything that you see on the screen, the PowerPoint from tonight is already posted on our website. It went up this afternoon. A video is being made of this session right now, and that'll be posted by the end of the week. And there's more information on the early college program available both on the Montgomery College and the MCPS websites, and that's what you're seeing there. So just sit back, surely take notes, but you don't have to worry about taking photos of everything that's on the slides that you're going to see. So the early college program, as was mentioned, this was something that came from the superintendent, Dr. Smith, and Dr. Darian Paul from Montgomery College, and it's a partnership opportunity with Students for All. Every high school in Montgomery County has the opportunity to come to the college campus where they will take college classes that will fulfill their high school requirements. So let me go over that again. Students do not return to their high schools at all. You take all of your classes on the college campus. You're a full-time college student, and those classes fulfill not only college degree requirements, but they also fulfill a high school requirement. And I'll give you an example. 11th grade, you take an English class. It could be honors English. It could be an AP English class, a regular English class. Well, at the college, you'd be taking English 101 in your first semester, So that meets the MCPS graduation requirement for 11th grade, and it meets a college requirement. So that's how we are able to, in 2 years, get you through a college associate's degree as well as fulfilling your high school diploma requirements. So the students at the end of this program, as Dr. Floyd mentioned, we have graduation in May, that you receive your college diploma, and you will be receiving your high school diploma from your home high school. So the diploma will have the name of your home high school on it. In the first year of the program, we have students in what we call cohorts, which means students take their classes all together with other early college students. And we do that for a number of reasons, so that we can give you a great class schedule, we can identify the faculty, we're able to provide resources to those sections of early college classes, we're able to track students easily, so a lot of reasons to do that. And at the end, students will receive one of many different degrees. There's the AA, the AAS, the AAT, and the AAS degree. And basically, students, again, will be meeting the requirements, and those classes taken in the degree do transfer in the University of Maryland system. We're going to be talking a lot more about transfer a little bit later on, so I'm not going to go into too much detail on that. So you all received a letter in the mail. We were looking for students who are 10th grade students who have at least a 2.75 grade point average. So if you're applying to this program, we want you to have most of your service learning credits done. If you don't have to have them all done to do this program, to apply for this program to be accepted, but we want you to make a big dent. So you still have plenty of time the rest of the year to work on your hours. We would like students to have completed PE. In addition, it would be great if you got your tech credit and your health credits completed. However, that is not a deal breaker. It will not preclude you from being admitted to this program if you don't have one of those completed. It just makes things simpler for you along the way because there are fewer classes to take if you have those 3 completed. A requirement of the program is that students earn grades of C or higher in all their college classes. And the reason for that is, number one, grades of C or higher are what we call prerequisites for the next class in the sequence. It shows that you've mastered the content, so that's one reason. Number 2 is that transfer institutions, again, want to see that grade of C or higher to see that you've mastered the information, that you have the knowledge and you have the content. A third reason is for financial aid purposes. Later on, when you finish this program and you're applying to the 4-year institutions, we're going to help you fill out your FAFSA form, apply for financial aid. In order to maintain financial aid, you have to demonstrate that you've made academic progress. So again, there are many reasons why the grades of C or higher are important in this program. You'd be working with your early college coordinator, and on each one of the campuses we have an early college coordinator, and I'm going to take this opportunity right now to introduce Ms. Jennifer Ray. She's in the second row. Jennifer, if you wave. So Jennifer will be working with all, and is working with all the students who are here on this campus to ensure that they are taking the right college classes. She's working with your high school home counselors to make sure you've got your high school requirements fulfilled. She's tracking your progress with your faculty, and she's connecting you to resources. And then in the second year, she'll be working with some students as far as making the transition to your next step. For some of you, it might be transferring to a 4-year institution. If you're in the health science programs in the second year, you're going to be actually in your medical program. So again, the admissions requirement, you need to have your math and your English assessments done. You need to have a 2.75 high school grade point average. You're going to be hearing from Mr. Sullivan a little bit later on about the application process, but there are various applications you will need to complete and on time. And another requirement is the summer transition program. So if you take a look at those dates, if you're going to be doing the biological science program, you will be here on this campus for 4 weeks, July 6th through July 31st, taking a math prep class and a college success type program. If you're doing the health science program, you're going to be taking your first college class in the summer, and that starts July the 6th and runs till August the 11th. So I'm already getting questions from parents saying we have plans tentatively for next summer. Can this be waived or done at another time? And the answer is no. Every early college program that we have, not just the ones here, every program has a mandatory summer program because we're preparing you to make the transition from high school expectations, as well as the content. We're preparing you to be successful in your first semester of college classes. And the final requirement is that you meet the assessment levels for each program. Different programs have different assessment levels because of the math sequence, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. So students have to meet the assessment levels and demonstrate that they're ready to do the coursework in that program. And at this point, I would like to introduce, if you look at your agenda, the Department Chair for Biological and Chemical Science, Dr. Valerie Lance, and she's going to talk to you about the biological science track.
Welcome. It's wonderful to see so many of you have turned out tonight and come to Tacoma Park. So I'm Dr. Valerie Lance. I'm the Chair of Chemical and Biological Sciences here at Tacoma Park. And we host the Biological Sciences Associate Degree students in early college, as well as we have the health science students for the first year. So students in the Biological Sciences program transfer at high rates here at the college. As you can see some data on the screen, in 2017, 272 students transferred, and 5.5% of all transfer students at Montgomery College are biological sciences students. Our largest transfer institution is the University of Maryland College Park, followed by UMBC and UM, now GC, it should be, Global Campus. And actually, here's a list for the entire college for all programs at the college of schools that many of our students from Montgomery College transfer to. So you can see we have some very prestigious schools, as well as the University of Maryland, which is also difficult to get into, College Park, UMBC, et cetera. So students that major in biological sciences have many exciting career opportunities. So everything from a physician, physician's assistant or doctor, right? Physical therapist, dentist, pharmacist, many different careers in the sciences. So I was a biological science student when I was in college years ago at the University of Maryland, UMBC. And I became a research scientist and eventually became a teacher here at the college. Students that major in the biological sciences programs, this is a challenging program. Students will be taking challenging courses. They will be required to take 4 semesters of chemistry, 2 of inorganic chemistry and 2 of organic chemistry, as well as 4 to 5 biology classes. Students will also be required to be ready in the fall of 2020 for this program to take Calculus 1. So that means that they will need to be taking pre-calculus now. The students will receive lots of various forms of support. So for example, students in biological sciences will be starting their first class will be in our department will be Chemistry 131, first semester of chemistry, and we offer an online preparation module for those students to help prepare them to be successful in their first semester of chemistry. We also, for our various courses, have a faculty support outside of the classroom. This is an additional faculty member that has taught the course at some point before that will provide study sessions, review sessions outside of class, as well as additional support in the class. And we have many other support programs as well to help students be successful. And now I would like to introduce Dr. Monique Davis, who is the Dean for Health Sciences and Director of Nursing.
Welcome to Montgomery College again, and we're very excited for this wonderful opportunity for your family, specifically for our students. And so our nursing program here at the college is our largest health science program. To date, we have 477 nursing students, and we have over 3,500 students that are going through the process of completing their prerequisites at each of the 3 campuses. But our students who are actively enrolled in our nursing courses are completing their coursework here at the Tacoma Park Silver Spring campus. And as you saw, just next door to here is where our Health Science Center is. Our students in all of our health science programs that we're going to share about today have a didactic portion where it's classroom experiences. They have on-campus labs, so we have several lab areas in the building for students to practice their skills before they go out to their clinical rotations. And so with our clinical rotations, our students are caring for real patients out in the community. So when we look at our health science programs and our coursework, we're not just looking at what's happening in a textbook, we're bringing it to life in our on-campus labs, and then we're bringing it out to our community by providing direct patient care. So with our health science programs, upon completing their associate's degree, and then the students will get their high school diploma, they will then prepare themselves for either licensure or certification, which all of our health science programs, we begin that prep work day one when they begin their coursework in our programs. We want to make sure that they are ready to sit for the RN licensure and their certifications based on their program. And we take the time with the students and provide them coaching from our faculty and staff, as well as prep work through the standardized testing process to make sure that our students are successful in their certifications. And so with our nursing program, our current licensure pass rate is 87%. And with our other health science programs, we're very proud that 100% of them are completing their certifications, and many of them before they even graduate. That is very important for our health science students because the next step after completing their program here with us at Montgomery College, 100% of them we're expecting to go out into the workforce. And then many of our hospitals and our affiliate outpatient clinics and services that are offered for patients, many of those employers offer tuition remission or tuition reimbursement for them to go on for advanced degrees. So as you notice here on our slides, we don't emphasize the word transfer. We talk more about academic progression because here you'll have your associate's degree and then we would like to support you all in going on for your bachelor's degree. So it's not really seen as a true transfer, it's more of academic progression. And the other beautiful part of it is our students are leaving with those strong credentials, and many of them scaffold their credentials so that they can be even more marketable when it's time for employment. So some of the universities in the area where we have partnerships with our RN registered nurse on to a bachelor's degree, and they're all listed here, but the one that's very near and dear to our heart is the partnership that we have with University of Maryland. And we work with our nursing students to make sure that they've made a decision upon graduation as to where they go next for their bachelor's degree. So we're very fortunate that we have a academic progression manager in nursing that meets with all of our students beginning that very first semester to engage them with where would they like to go on for their bachelor's degree. So where do nurses work? Hospitals. We are very unique here at Montgomery College. This is a gem fact for you all to take home with you. We are the only community college in the United States that has a hospital on its campus, and that is the Holy Cross Germantown Hospital on our Germantown campus. So our students have a beautiful opportunity to go to Holy Cross here in Silver Spring and the Germantown Hospital that's on our campus to provide patient care along with all of the other hospitals that are in our area. So our students seek employment in acute care hospitals. They also go to long-term care, nursing, rehab facilities. Home care is a thriving industry. Many patients are going home earlier. They're not staying in the hospitals as long. So our nurses are providing direct care in patients' homes. And then school nursing. I'm sure our students may know who their school nurse is or may have encountered the school nurse. And it's a great partnership for us to have our graduates serving in our county schools. So our next program that we're going to talk about is Diagnostic Medical Sonography. So with our Diagnostic Medical Sonography, we have 3 tracks. One is the general tract, which also includes the abdominals. So if anyone's having a baby and they're going to have an ultrasound, this is what these technicians would provide. We also have a vascular tract, so looking at all of your blood vessels. And then we also have an echo tract, which is specifically looking at sonograms of your heart. So students have the opportunity of picking and choosing which track is best for them. And we connect them through theory and lab and clinical. Again, we have an academic progression transfer model here for these students. And as you can see, just here in the area, we have some that are very close by with Towson, Notre Dame, and University of Maryland. Okay, so sonographers work in the hospital and they work in outpatient centers. Okay, physical therapist assistant. This is an awesome program where students have the fun time of helping patients to get back on their feet, literally and figuratively. So here with our physical therapy assistant program, many of our students spend time in long-term care facilities for clinical and the National Rehab Hospital. They also have clinical in all of our hospitals as well as our Germantown campus. But the focus here is really to get students engaged in providing care alongside a physical therapist. Our students go on to Towson and to University of Maryland. Okay. I've mentioned here about the hospitals and long-term rehab facilities, but there are also outpatient facilities where patients are at home, but they're going in for physical therapy a couple days a week, so they may be well enough to be back at home and with their families, and so many of our students work in the outpatient setting. All right. Radiologic technology. This is the Xray. I'm sure if anyone has been on a skateboard, fell down, broke an elbow, something like that, you are familiar with Xray. So many of our students are fully aware of what nurses do, and they're fully aware about Xray. But usually diagnostic medical sonography and physical therapy assistant, I have to share a little bit more. But with Xray, most people are fully aware of what that industry is. And so we're very fortunate that in our Health Science Center, again, all of the technology that the students would use while they're out in the clinical setting, we have those same technologies here on campus. So for our students who are doing nursing, who are doing diagnostic medical sonography, we have a humongous therapy room in our physical therapy suite, and then we have fully functioning equipment that we can take X-rays of each other. Now, the radiation part of it, we've been able to remove, so there's no issues with radiation exposure while these X-rays are happening. And then when our students are going out to the clinical site, we do track the amount of X-ray exposure that the students have. So we cover those expenses for students, so it's no charge to them as well. All right. So our students, as you can see, we have great partnerships, Notre Dame, Towson, University of Maryland. And again, it is our goal that students have a academic progression plan upon graduation. So they have their degree in hand, they will have their high school diploma in hand, they will be ready for certification if they've not already completed it by graduation, they will be lined up with a job in place, and we like to have them have a specific plan for their academic progression onto that bachelor's degree when they leave us. So we're pretty busy for 2 years with your students. All right, and so here's where our students are working acute care settings and in outpatient settings. All right, the last program I'm going to talk about is our surgical technology program. And so this program is a little unique. With our previous health science programs, you'll spend your 1 year doing your prerequisite courses, then you'll spend 4 semesters in those health science programs. So it'll be 1 additional year after completing high school. But with our surgical technology program, you'll do the 1 year of your prerequisites, and then the year of your senior year, you will complete the surgical technology program. Often students like to refer to Gray's Anatomy and say, oh, I want to, work in the OR. But we put you in a real OR, so it's not just what you see on TV. So you have your classes. We have 2 fully functional operating room areas in the Health Science Center, so students practice on our mannequins, and then they go out to clinical and assist with actual surgeries while they're in our program. And so our students continue their education going on to Towson and to University of Maryland. And so they work in our acute care hospitals, and they work in outpatient surgery centers. And surprisingly, there are more outpatient surgery centers showing up all across the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. So for all of our health science programs, our students, they're usually turning down job offers versus some of our other industries where students are looking hard for jobs. There's such a great relationship with our graduates in the community that our employers come on site. They want to do interviews right here. They get to meet our students while they're out in a clinical site. So oftentimes students may have 2 or 3 job offers even before they complete the programs with us. So they have to, have the luxury of picking and choosing where they may want to work, which is really phenomenal. Okay, so I think that's my time, but I'm really happy that you're here and you're interested in these programs. And anything that we can do to help with this transition, we look forward to doing so. Have a great evening.
A couple points I'd like to make. So we just started the health science programs this year, and the students in all the programs except for Surg Tech, well, all the students are taking what we call the required classes, or some of them preferred. And you have to actually apply to get into your program. So our students in all the programs except for nursing will apply to their health science program by March the 1st. The nursing program is April the 1st. And then, as Dr. Davis said, after that, it is then a 2-year program except Surg Tech. All the other programs, you will be here 1 year after your high school graduation. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the funding for that, but I want that to be clear that it's really 3 years that you'll be here doing that program, except for Surg Tech. The other thing, if you're interested in biological science and you're in Algebra 2 this year, we do have options or opportunities for you to complete the pre-calculus prior to the fall semester, and we can answer questions about that later on. So at this point, we want to show you a video of one of our students. We started the mathematics program, as Dr. Floyd said, last year, and Mr. Rafia is now in his second year, and so he's in a pretty tough schedule, and he's filing his college applications and writing his essays. So he's going to share with you a little bit about his experience.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, awesome. All right. Wow, it's a packed crowd. It's nice. So, if I recall correctly, I was here in March of 2018, and I was sitting right there in that corner. And I had come after a long day at school. I was SGA vice president, and it was just a really long meeting, right? And I sat there, and my mom basically persuaded me to come. Right. A lot of you kids are probably here because your mom was like, you gotta come. I'm right. So essentially, yeah, that was the same case for me. And I was out here, and I was not feeling the mood. And I heard Dr. Crowley speak, and she was talking about saving money, saving time. I like both of those things, so my ears perked up a little. And she started talking about finishing an associate's degree simultaneously with the last 2 years of high school. And I thought in my head, oh wait, that's like skipping 2 grades. That sounds too good to be true. All right, and you know what that also sounds like? That sounds like earning 60 credits, 60 college credits during high school. Now, what does that mean about your weighted GPA? Wait, hold up, who's calling? It's common sense. Common sense is saying that your weighted GPA will be higher than anyone in the entire state. The entire state. And you know why? It is physically impossible to earn 60 credits while you're in high school, except for if you're in the early college program. Except for when you're in the early college program. And that's what makes this program so great. And that's just one reason out of like 5 that I have, all right? And many more, actually. So our weighted GPAs, right, will be phenomenally high. As a matter of fact, I have accumulated, as of right now, about 69 credits. My older brother, he took 13 APs at Magruder High School. He got about 40-something, and he died through his classes. And I'm here, and I've already earned 69. I haven't even graduated yet. I'll finish with 84. That's basically, I'm going to transfer as a junior, hopefully, God willing, at University of Maryland. That's tough. I like that. All right. Now, if you told me I'd be standing here speaking March of 2018, I would have said, why would I even want to leave my high school? I was vice president. I was on the JV basketball team. I was already playing basically for varsity, and I had all the friends I wanted. Why would I leave all that and come to college where I have no friends? I'm 5 years younger than everyone. I'm 16. So I'm like literally younger than everyone I'm around. Yeah. Everyone's like, you're 16? Yeah, I'm 16. So yeah, essentially, why would I leave all that behind? And the reason is course rigor. The reason is course rigor. Because you cannot take the classes you can take here in high school. Which high school offers organic chemistry in 1 year? Offers discrete mathematics, multivariable calculus, differential equations, linear algebra, all of senior year. Because I'm taking that. My friends are taking that. There's no high school that can do that for you. But this place can. And even if you don't want to take all those things, you still have the opportunity to broaden your horizons and learn all that you want to learn. You can take all kinds of literature classes, things that people in high school can't even imagine. You can take business writing here. Who taught business writing in high school? But like, you can take that here as a young kid. And beyond just coursework and weighted GPAs, your opportunities here are endless in terms of internships, in terms of the job market. In high school, who thinks about the job market? You're basically lifeguarding if you're a guy, or you're working at the vet if you're a girl. You're basically very limited. But out here, you can do anything. and you're like, hey, Safila, what's your example? What are you doing? Guess what? I landed my first job here. I'm working at NIST. Wow. I'm 16. And you know what? They didn't look at me. You know what they looked at? They looked at my credentials, my education, my ability to learn, my learning curve. And that's why this program will help you attain that learning curve that everyone in the job market wants. Now, I've talked about weighted GPAs, all right, and I've talked about the ability to have internships and course rigor. Now, when you add up those three things, what do you get? You get an Ivy caliber student. Colleges look at your GPA and they're like, wow, this guy's taken phenomenal coursework. He's taken so many nice classes. He's had the best internships. We have to bring him to our college. And sure, it's granted they won't take your credits. Like Johns Hopkins will take like 12 out of your 60 credits, but you're going to Johns Hopkins though. And Harvard, they might not take your credits, but you're still going to Harvard. You're getting a Harvard quality education. So I'm telling you, my cohort, as of right now, we stand at about 40 kids. About 10 of us are Ivy caliber. We're ready to go. And 10 out of 40, that's better than any proportion in any high school MCPS. So eventually you become an elite level student. Even if you enter the program as a little bit of a straggler, you don't really enjoy school, you pick up the pace. Because in college, you learn that efficiency is the name of the game. You become the best student that you can ever be, and you go to the best places you can ever go to. Now, after you've heard all this about me, you're probably asking, hey, Safila, how do you do all this? And you know what I did? Essentially, when I was in March 2018, right? And my mom asked me, you want to join early college? I took a deep breath, I went, and I shadow boxed for like 3 seconds, I was like, and then I looked at my mom and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Let's see what we can do. And that's where I am today. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Now again, Safila is in the math program, extremely challenging program, and everybody's not going to be applying to Harvard. He's applying to Harvard, Johns Hopkins, University of Maryland, and Georgia Tech. But it's just trying to give you an idea of the positive effect that being this program has had on him and the opportunities that it has provided with and can provide to you students as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit now, shift gears to cost. And I'm going to break this into two areas, biological science and the health science program. If you graduated from MCPS and you came to Montgomery College and you paid for the 2-year program, you did it in 2 years in the textbooks, this degree program would cost you $12,700. That's based on this year's tuition and fees. However, between the contribution of Montgomery County Public Schools and Montgomery College, $9,920 is covered in this program, which leaves the student fees. So that's $2,724. We're talking about over the course of the 2-year program, any student would pay the most would just be the fees. If a student is free and reduced meals eligible, they pay nothing for this program. So 2 years of college for free, or at most, all you pay are the fees. Textbooks, instructional materials, all that's covered by MCPS. So that's what the price would be. Parents and guardians, I know that's what you're interested in. Now, as far as transportation, students, when they get their photo ID, get a sticker every semester, and it gives them access to use the Montgomery County ride-on bus system. So that's one way you can get to campus. The college has a shuttle system, so if you live closer to another campus, you can either take the ride-on bus, or perhaps a parent can give you a ride to that campus, and you can take the free shuttle bus there as well. Students who are in this program cannot apply for financial aid because you're not a high school graduate and this program is being paid for. If you have a Maryland savings plan for college, that program can be used to pay for those fees that I mentioned. So again, this is for the biological science program, or perhaps you're interested in a program at another campus and you're here just to learn about early college. Just to give you a comparison, for biological science, if you graduate from high school and you were to go to the University of Maryland, based on this year's prices, you would be paying a little over $47,000 in tuition. That's not room and board, that's just tuition. If you graduated from MCPS and you went to MC and did the first year, 2 years of the degree, and you paid that $12,700, and then you transferred to College Park and paid for those 2 years, it's going to cost you a little bit over $36,000. If you come and do the early college program at most for the fees and then transfer to College Park, it's going to cost you $2,600 and change for a 4-year degree. So there's a savings of over $20,000 for the bachelor's degree if you do this program. And of course, we talked about the time savings. Your traditional path, you go into high school for 4 years, going to a 4-year institution and hopefully graduating in 4 years. But if you do the early college program, you're in your 10th grade year, and then the green represents the overlap where you're doing your 11th and 12th grade years of high school at the same time you're doing your associate's degree. The blue represents the completion of the bachelor's degree. So in the same time it would take you to get a bachelor's degree, going the traditional path, you could have a master's degree. Now, health science programs, again, are a little bit different because most of these programs are 3-year programs. So if you graduated from high school, applied to a nurse's school, and went straight to the University of Maryland, again, you're going to be paying for 4 years of University of Maryland cost. And if you went to Montgomery College after high school graduation, you're going to spend at least 3 years. Again, remember I said the first year you're taking the required classes and you're applying for the programs, plus you're spending another 2 years. So that cost then to transfer to the University of Maryland to finish your bachelor's degree is $42,000, $600 and change. If you did one of the early college health science programs, it's still going to be 3 years, but two of those years you would have been in high school. So you're still saving 2 years, and you're still saving money. And that cost would be $31,000 once you transfer to University of Maryland to finish up. So there's a savings of over $15,000. So whether it's the biological science program or another degree program, you may be interested on another campus, or the health science, you are saving 2 years and you are saving money. And again, this is pretty much what I repeated, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it just goes to demonstrate, again, the 4 years in high school, the 3 years in the program if you're a high school graduate, and then going on and getting the bachelor's degree, which would be 9 total years, as opposed to doing early college for health science and saving 2 years at the end. So from the time you start high school to the time you have a bachelor's degree in health science, it's 7 years. Either way, you're saving time and a lot of money. All the programs at Montgomery College require that students take what we call general education requirements. These are the classes that build the foundation, the building blocks. You learn how to write. You learn about skills that you have for the rest of your life. You have classes in humanities, social science, and these classes are accepted by institutions in the University of Maryland system and at many institutions throughout the country. So I had mentioned before the mandatory summer program, so look at those dates, folks. Biological Science, July 6th to the 31st. It's Monday through Fridays, and it's in the morning. And this program, we're preparing you again for a calculus that you'll take in your first semester, as well as college expectations. The health science class, program of the summer is probably the most unusual one because students are actually taking a college class, Biology 150, so you're basically doing a whole summer semester. It's a very intense program. Our students did very well in that class. That class runs Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to approximately 1 o'clock. And again, those programs are all here on the Tacoma Park campus. So again, the summer program, we are preparing you for college expectations. As I mentioned, the health science students are taking their first class. You're going to learn how to access college resources, where the learning center are. You'll learn about college policies and procedures, and we will review with you your graduation requirements. If you're seriously interested in doing the early college program, you're going to be hearing about the assessment tests you're going to be taking. We strongly urge you to look into using Khan Academy now to begin working on increasing your English and your mathematics skills. So that's something you have available to you right now. In the math, English, and science classes in all of our early college programs, we have what we call embedded coaches, and Dr. Lance referred to them. This is another faculty member who is working with our students outside the classroom to provide support, to provide tutoring. So you have your faculty member as well as the embedded coach in English, math, and science classes. And again, as I mentioned, Ms. Xray is here, the early college coordinator, to support students the whole time they're in the program. I'm not going to go to everything on the slide, but each campus at the Montgomery College has what we call academic support centers. So there's a science learning center, there's a writing center you can sign up for appointments, there's a medical learning center for the health science programs. So there are a lot of supports that are built into this program for student success. If you are an MCPS student who holds an IEP or a 504, you would need to apply for services here at the college. Those services do not convey to Montgomery College. I cannot stress strongly enough, if you're accepted to this program, that you apply for services, and there's a phone number there for the Tacoma Park campus, and at the end we'll have a contact person's name. You may decide initially, I don't want to use the services, or I want to try going without it, but we urge you, apply for the services when you're accepted to the program, so that if you need to use them, you'll have them as soon as you start classes. And right now, I would like to introduce Mr. Michael Sullivan from MCPS, and he's going to go over the application process.
Good evening. So before we start on the next steps, I'd like to give you an update on some other programs that we're adding for the early college program. In Rockville, we are going to have a general engineering degree program that'll be new for next year, as well as at the Germantown campus, an elementary education and special education degree program. So those will be brand new for next year that you'll be able to apply to for this year. So now, next steps. You've heard a lot of information tonight about a lot of really exciting programs, a lot of really good news, free college. That sounds like a lot of good news. But what was it, $26,000 worth of good news? So you're probably really interested now. So what do you have to do? Next steps. All MCPS students in the 10th grade with a qualifying GPA of 2.75 or higher, that's a cumulative GPA, we'll be getting an email by tomorrow night with a link to the initial application where you'll say, yes, guess what, I'm interested. And I am interested in one of these programs, and you'll actually select the program and the campus that you're interested in, because there are a couple programs that are on multiple campuses, so you'll want to tell us which campus you're interested in. That will be due by November 1st. So check your emails. We'll also be posting that link online on the dual enrollment webpage for MCPS. So that should be up by Thursday afternoon or Friday mornings. You'll be able to check for it there, as well as in that ConnectEd email. After that, you'll have, we'll go through, take a look at the initial eligibility of all the students who are interested, just to check to make sure that students meet the requirements. 2.7 GPA in 10th grade. I wish we had a video. At our first presentation at Rockville, we had a student come up, and he must have been in maybe 5th or 6th grade asking about, can I do this program? And unfortunately, we had to tell him no. It's only for 10th graders. So we'll take a look at that eligibility and let you know by right around December 13th whether or not you meet those qualifications, at which point you'll have until January 3rd to complete the next two steps, and that is to do an application to Montgomery College and to complete the MCPS early college program. From there, you'll go on to take the assessment test. It's called an AccuPlacer test, and we'll send directions for those once the applications come in. And to get ready for that testing, Ms. Crowley suggested that you take a look at Khan Academy for SAT. Start working on that as soon as possible. If you're serious that you really want to do this program, show how serious you are by studying and getting ready for that assessment test, because that assessment test will be very important for the rest of the program and getting you in. By the end of the semester, we'll go through a few more steps until we finally end up at the summer program, where you'll start your college classes and your college careers as an 11th grader. You'll be starting it as an 11th grader. Okay. Next, there's a lot of information on those two websites that we gave you at the beginning, and I'm going to, when we finish this and go to questions, I'm going to go back to that slide so that you can see where all this information is. You'll see this whole presentation, as well as the presentations from our Rockville and our Germantown evening sessions, but you also have some information here where you can email us directly. If you have questions about the general program or even some specific questions, you can email Ms. Crowley. If you have questions about the application process, you can email me, and then we also have links for each of the individual programs, so you can email with your specific questions. I'm going to go all the way back so you can see where all this information is, and it's all the way at the beginning so you get a little recap. This is what we did tonight, just in reverse. So these are the resources on the web. So if tonight you don't think of a question right away and you think of it tomorrow morning, or like I do on the drive home, take a look at the website. There are two of them, one on MC's website and one on MCPS's, so you can take a look there and find some answers as well. Oh, you snuck up on me.
I did. Now, if I could just share, if you look at these links now, you will see what we call pathways, and it shows you'll be able to see what classes, exact college classes you'd be taking for each one of these programs for 11th, 12th grade, and if there are some of them requiring summer as well.